Okay, navigating the Wax blockchain. So we'll start with the Wax wallet. Just Google Wax wallet should be your first result. And we're using Cloud Wallet. You can use like Anchor and stuff. Anchor's really good, but this one's just easier, so I'm gonna use it. Chimneys. And I went over in the last video in the series how to make a wallet. So if you haven't made it that far, you might want to watch that video first. Alright, here's my wax balance up here. You can buy more wax, I guess, by doing this stuff. I've never bought wax this way, so I can't vouch for it. I've always just traded for other cryptocurrencies. I would recommend doing that for right now. I can't remember why, but I wasn't a fan of trying to do it this way. Alright, this is how you send wax, receive wax. This would be when you start collecting cards and stuff, it's gonna fill up RAM. So you will need some wax eventually if you keep collecting cards. It's not too expensive. You just put like 3 wax in here and there. Like I'll put 3 in right now. And make sure you select RAM. I've never had to buy CPU or NET yet. NET. So this will pop up anytime you do a transaction request. This window should pop up unless you click this box. This just confirms you want to do what you're doing. So I leave this unchecked usually. I just hit approve. Cool. And then this number will go down in a minute, number 56. Let's check out the D-apps, which you can also access through this tab. We're going to check out Wax blocks, and then we're going to do Atomic Market. And those are the 2 I would recommend for now. I would recommend checking out the others later, but if you're looking just to get started. Alright, this gives you an overwhelmingly large amount of info. Anyway, to search, you can just put in your address up here. Cool. Alright, this is your RAM, which it dropped to 54%. Instead of 56% of my allotment. Here's my CPU and my NET. This is I sent you can view the transactions right here. Like a received token means it received an NFT. I minted an asset right here, which means I made an NFT. Yeah, we won't worry too much about the rest of this. This is supposed to be for beginners, but this is a great resource. It has a lot of info though. Like you can click wallet here. You can buy and sell RAM through here. If you wanted to donate to somebody's Wax account, you could just type in the RAM receiver here and then the amount here, and that'll make it so you know that they spent it on RAM. Alright, AtomicHub. You'll get this cookie notice the first time you visit the site. Accepting all is really not that big of a deal, but I go to customize settings and then check this last one. I would read all of these. Accept selected. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and log in. Again, Anchor is pretty good, but we're going to use Wax Cloud Wallet because it's the easiest. Cool. So these are just some NFTs that I think are recently made or recently listed on the market. So let's say that you wanted to give people NFTs. We're going to start out in trading. So I just clicked trading on the very top. And then you get a view of a bunch of your NFTs. So these are all my NFTs. You can click more next to them. And then it gives you a bunch of options. You can create a bundle, you can transfer, you can create a link, you can do a trade, you can back the tokens, or you can burn the card. So backing tokens and burning the card I wouldn't worry about for now. But and even the trading I don't use very much, but I do create link and transfer a lot. So transfer, you can also get here just by clicking right here, transfer. It'll bring you to the screen if you have somebody's address. And then you can select the cards here. So anything with an orange box is selected. You just click on something to add that orange box and it'll add it up here. So we can add a bunch. And then let's say you change your mind, you can either go back down here and uncheck them, or up here and click on them and it'll get rid of them. So let's say we just want to send 109, number 109. Just click it, make sure it's in this box up here, and then send transfer. Oh, and this is a memo section, by the way, so you can put a note in. If you want, just know that memos are stored unencrypted on the blockchain. It can be seen by anybody. So I just hit send transfer, confirm, and then this guy shows up again. You can get rid of that just by clicking this box, but I'm just gonna hit approve. And that'll be different. You'll have to do that every time for every different site. So Wax Wallet will want it, and then AtomicHub will want it. And then you can actually view your transactions on the blockchain, which you'll recognize that we were just here, the wax.blocks.io. So here's all the transaction descriptions. And there's a bunch more info here we won't worry about. And I think there is a period of time where you can undo a transaction before it's written into the blockchain for good. I wouldn't worry about that though. All right, close. All right, to create a link, we would go here, or again, you can just click on the card from that main screen, click more options. So click here. This one, you write the memo right here. Click generate link. It'll say confirm transfer, just click confirm. And then here's this guy again. Again, you can just check this box, I never do, and click approve. And then if you wanted, you could view that transaction on the, I guess not, that one didn't let me. So the first person to get this link will see a screen like this, and then they'll be able to claim the card. Here's more info on the card. We'll get into that in a second. So they just have to click claim, and then they have it. I'll forget to leave that somewhere if I don't claim it right now, but I will give a few of those out. All right, Explorer. This lets you view cards. You can search for cards up here. I say just play around with it. You'll be able to find them pretty easy. That part's pretty self-explanatory, so we could search for. That's the name of my collection. View collection. And then you can view all the assets in the collection, which I wouldn't recommend because it's just going to show you in the order they were minted, and it's a lot. I would recommend going down to templates, and then you can see all the templates. So these are all the ones I've made. And that's just one way to search. There are plenty of ways to search for these. And you can click on them to view it. Right here I can change if it can be transferred and burned. So that's another perk is we'll go and I'll cover that in the NFT creator video. So you now know how to transfer NFTs, you know a little bit about Wax. I think that's good for this video, and then in the next one I'll cover making NFTs.